Because I think it's good to know that quite apart from just jumping into the gas situation, that it's good to know that the institution in the country that you're dealing with, on upstream and downstream, that at least we're trying to improve our institutional capability, our skills, our safety, and so on, because at the end of the day, it redounds to the benefit of the country and everyone else. The last thing we want is failures in pipelines and all of these other issues. So if I start with safety, I would say that so far so good. I'm giving a perspective now for the last year that we have 0 recordables, and that's mean lost time injuries, restricted work cases, medical treatment cases. So far so good. We have a lot of people, of course, driving and making a lot of distances across Trinidad and Tobago, and what we saw is quite a lot of preventable vehicular accidents, PVAs. So here you can see we're not out of the woods, but we're now 70% reduced compared to what we were before, and we still have work to do when it comes to getting to 0 PVAs. NGC signed on fairly early to the STORE Charter, where we focus on high-risk activity, and we ensure that the contractors are working in accordance with the rest of the industry. That was not that's a low-hanging fruit, in my opinion. The annual report financials have been published for 2016, and you would have seen in April this year, the chairman, myself, and then finance manager, we had to face the Public Accounts Committee, where we account for things far before our time, but at least it does demonstrate that we have governance processes that we have to account for, right, in NGC. Let's see that on the right-hand side, we talked quite a lot about, in the energy conference in January, this whole issue of institutional capacity, the whole issue of building skill. And here you would see that I have a relatively new executive management team. They're actually on this table there, right? And Julia there. So most of us are a year old or less, right? And there are a few who are there from before. But so it's actually building a new team in NGC. We have some strategic hires, of course, that has happened. We have brought in a senior manager in safety. We've brought in a VP in projects and procurement, because that's where, a lot of money is being spent. We're involved in multi-millions of dollars in projects, so it's important that the projects and procurement get attention. We would have brought in a geologist at the end of the second quarter of this year, particularly to focus on marginal fields, which I'll come to later. So you see, we're trying to build the team, and we're also organizing the restructuring of various arms of the business. That is still going on. The asset integrity process, as you know, NGC was actually below the national average. And we have ambitions to at least get to the national average at the end of the year. And that has involved a cross-relationship across all the companies in the group, with a steering committee and rolling out formally and reporting formally and all of that, and learning from the best in the areas as well. So the asset integrity process is very high on the agenda. In terms of group synergies and policies and so on, we started very early unifying our safety policies, unifying our ethics policies, the way how we do business, project management policies. So a lot of those have been streamlined across the entire group of companies.